Well, we're back at Real Builds, and we're moving on with the interior of the Ford F-150. Now, as we know from doing our evaluation, it was in really good shape. Other than a couple of things that we want to improve, such as getting a tachometer in it, there's not much to do other than give it another good clean. And as you can see, we've got all our gear ready. The big bucket of soapy water, and it's time to give it a clean. But seeing as we already showed you how to do that when we did the evaluation, we're not going to go through it all again. Instead, what we are going to do is look at how we can get our tachometer installed. And I know it'll drive some of you crazy, but I need to find a place to put my cassette tapes, so we're going to deal with that. The Ford truck is really a throwback to the 1980s. It's a 1984. And it still has a cassette deck and an AM radio. I'm not big on stereo stuff. Everybody's into different things. I only use the radio to listen to talk radio, which will drive most people under 30 completely insane. And my music, I've got all the tapes to work in the tape deck, so we're just going to work with that. But each of you has got to make your own stereo decisions. This happens to be mine. So we're going to pause for a moment and then go out and start working on getting our pieces installed here on Real Builds. Okay, now comes time to mount the tach, and where I normally harp about following the manufacturer's instructions, we're going to deviate a little bit because I'm not sure we're going to be staying with the 6-cylinder engine, and I'm not sure if I go to a bigger engine if I'm going to want to change the tachometer. So we're going to do it a little differently here on Real Builds. We've picked up a small tachometer set to 6-cylinder. It's got its own built-in mount. And what we want to do is we want to mount her in here at about the stock location for the original tach, but it was in the dash. And it gives a clear view of all the instruments. So the initial mount we're going to do with two-sided tape. We'll do that right after we put a little protection on the steering column. This truck's pretty much all original, so rather than take a chance on wrecking things, we're going to make sure that we take care of what we already have. So we're going to give a quick wrap of electrical tape, which will blend nicely with the column, to protect things while still leaving a clean surface to mount the two-sided tape. We'll come back and trim that as well. Now the nice part about black is it blends right in. So I'm going to go grab a set of scissors, do a little trimming, and be right back here on Real Builds. So now we're back with scissors and a screwdriver in hand, and we're going to do the initial fit of the tachometer. Now we're not going to wire it up today because under the hood, after the bodywork's done, we're going to be getting into some modifications, and that'll include ignition. So I don't want to install it now only to have to detach it later. So for today, for the interior work, we're just going to do the trial fit install and talk about what it'll look like when it's done. So now that I've got the scissors and the screwdriver that I forgot, we're going to trim this up so it looks nice. And get into mounting the tachometer itself. Now, all we need here is a little bit of two-sided tape to hold things into position. So we're going to do a rough measurement of what we need. Peel the tape, and apply it to our tachometer. Now that's pretty obviously not going to be enough to secure the tachometer really well. So we're going to add a second piece to get it flushed up. And then we'll be doing a hard mount using a clamp that we're going to trial fit. Just like so. Now we know we want the tack right about here, so we can fit it with just the two-sided tape for the moment. Oh, not quite where I wanted it. There we go, perfect. And that'll hold it secure for the moment. We're going to get a little bit of tape just to touch up. I didn't quite get my lengths right. We do want to protect that steering column. So we'll add just a tickle on right there. And now we'll trial fit a large clamp to hold everything in place. So we'll loosen off the clamp so the band comes right out. And then do our trial fit. Now by keeping the clamp at the top, we can help make it disappear from view once everything's installed to keep a clean look. Or if you really want that 80s look, back in the day big chrome clamps were the in thing. But I'm a little more subtle now, so we'll go with the nicer view and make everything disappear as much as we practically can. Go. So now we're just going to tighten her up. We'll be back in a few seconds after everything's nice and tight here on Real Build. Okay, there we go. We've got the clamp fought into place. We've tightened everything up, put a strip of high quality vinyl tape over it so it all but disappears, and a little bit of touch-up paint on the clamp itself, and you'll hardly even notice it. And we've got a good tack setup. We're not wiring it yet because we have to figure out what coil and such we're going to be running under the hood, but it's in the right place, it's out of the way, we can see it well. Now, if your vehicle doesn't have a tack, you can get any size you want. Follow the instructions, generally follow the mounting instructions as well to get it in place. And it's a useful tool. Now this big old 6-cylinder isn't going to rev that high, but I like to know what my RPMs are. So at this point, we're going to finish off in the interior. We're going to finish cleaning it as you are. And we've done the couple little things that we wanted to get done here on Real Builds. The interior is done. Next step, body work.